Hi friends, happy Friday. We are going to be doing another painting project today. Go ahead and grab a paper plate, black paint, oil pastels, or crayons if you don't have oil pastels, a paintbrush, and most likely some paper towels or a napkin. We are going to be making our own etching surfaces. I don't know if you guys have ever seen these black little postcards that are just, they have a black front on them, and then once you start etching, it reveals kind of like a colorful pattern underneath or a rainbow pattern, whatever. Those are the etching cards that we are going to make today with a paper plate instead. We will be letting these dry overnight, and then the material that you will need to etch into it is a toothpick, or you could probably even use like a Q-tip and just take the swab off of the end. I'm probably going to use a skewer stick because I know that's what I have around here. So go ahead and grab your materials and meet me right back over here and we'll get started together. So I have my paper plate here ready to use. I have my oil pastels that I'm going to use. I have a paintbrush and I have my black paint. These two things we're not going to need until a little bit later. We're going to need a paper plate with a paper-like texture. I don't know if I mentioned this last time, but this is a Chinet. It has kind of like a canvas construction paper type texture to it, so it's going to be easy for the oil pastels to stick onto this surface. If you have a shiny plastic one, that's probably not going to do the job. So I am going to start with red, and I am just making a rainbow pattern in the shape of my plate. So a circle rainbow pattern going from the inside out. And the reason I'm doing this is because when I am ready to do my etching, I'm going to make a mandala. So it is already going to be in a round shape, and the more you go outward, it's pretty cool to see like the expansion of colors from the rainbow. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna start with a heavy layer of red. Of course, my words are right in the middle of the Chinet words for the paper plate, so I'm gonna have to use my angles of my watercolor, or I'm sorry, my oil pastel, to kind of get in the words so it's not showing up when I'm sketching or etching later. Now for this design, we are going to get as close to a tie-dye pattern as we can, just kind of, doesn't have to be a perfect circle. Making sure it's really thick though. I don't know if you can see that, but that is pretty thick. I am not going light. I'm making sure that you can't see through it. as I'm going outward, I am definitely getting smaller. Just my edge colors are a little darker, and I felt like doing those a little bit smaller. Ready for my purple. Now I am almost done. You can see that my circle went a little uneven because I have more space down here to cover. So I'm just gonna get my pink and cover the last of what I have on the outside here. So now that we are all done with our oil pastel plate, we are ready for our black paint. So go ahead and grab a paintbrush and some black paint. Now what I'm going to do is I am just going to paint right over where I have oil pastels. Let's see here. There we go. Grab some paint, and this is just regular tempera paint. Make sure all the oil pastels seem to shed a lot when you're pressing down hard, so make sure those are gone. And just from the outside in, we are going to start painting over our oil pastel pattern, whatever you chose to do. Now I can still see some color through there, so I'm going to try to cover it. So now my whole plate is covered in black paint, and you can't really see through there to see the pattern underneath, so I am all done painting. All right, friends, so this is my completed plate. It's covered in black paint, so whenever it dries, I will be ready to take either a Q-tip without the cotton swab on the end of it, or a toothpick, or a skewer stick, or a pen without the ink pushed out. Kind of use your imagination with what you can use to etch this out. You can make tons of these. You don't have to do a mandala design when you etch this out. You can do whatever you would like. I would like to see pictures of these, so go ahead and post them in the classroom, and I will see you guys on Monday. Have a good weekend, guys.